And we are live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 8th episode of Exploring Star Trek Discovery, the 3rd episode of the season. And I am your host, Average Joe, the Average Geek, and I've got my bridge crew here. I've got all three of them this week. Imagine that. I've got Kevin Stallings, Pat Whitehead, Will Smith. How's it going, fellas?
All right.
Good.
Good.
So, we got a lot to talk about tonight. That was a very interesting episodes. Yeah, we definitely have a lot to talk about. Before we get into that, though, go ahead and hit that button on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, and you are going to see that subscription button. Subscribe to the channel. We're making that push to 100 subscribers, and when we get there, we are going to randomly pick somebody off of the subscribers list, and they are going to get their choice of subscription box, either the A box, the Geek Fuel, or the standard Loot Crate for whatever month we hit our goal. So go ahead and hit that button, and all right. Thank you very much. All right. Let's talk about episode 3. Context is for Kings. Arguably the actual first episode of Star Trek Discovery, if you count the first two as prologue. So, what'd you think, guys?
Can I cuss on this show?
Within moderation.
Okay. Damn. Damn. Hell do we just see? What is a discovery? Oh my god.
That was my main question. My main question was one that Burnham actually asked to Cadet Tilly or whatever her name was. What is going on this ship?
Did you see her face though when she was on the bed though? Like, dude.
Yeah, it was definitely weird. We were already getting.
I got a secret and I can't tell you what it is.
Yes, I can't talk to you. Black Alert, like Black Alert. I've never heard of Black Alert with the black badge too. I'm like, I need one of those. Like, I'm not gonna lie. My very first idea was Section 31 already.
Yes.
Yep. Yes.
I still think we have some Section 31 in store for this season. Like, we're already getting some comments. Let's see. Captain Jesse 1. Thank you for watching the show, Captain Jesse. They say, hi, Discovery Episode 3 was way better. I liked Cadet Sylvia Tilly. I think Tilly was an interesting character. Very naive, very fun, it's going to be interesting to see how her character grow. And one of the cool things about like Sylvia Tilly is that, yeah, she's very awkward when speaking to people, but when there was a threat on the Glen, she was the first one to draw that phaser and say, hey, you in the shadows, step out.
First one guns up.
Like, well done. Well done, Cadet Tilly. There you go, stepping up. Like, okay, be awkward all you want with people. You stepped up. Like, well done. That was fun. That was fun. Man, this episode just left me completely full of questions. I'm gonna have to watch the episode.
I think
again.
the word you're looking for, fuddled.
Yeah, like what the hell is going on? And this is not a negative in any way, shape, or word. This was a really fun episode, really good. It felt new and fresh. Captain Jesse says agreed that when Black Alert came up, they, I don't know why I'm saying she, I apologize for that, they immediately said they thought of Section 31. I bet there's going to be a lot of that out there as well. A lot of people are going to say that. DJF Entertainment agrees that they liked it too. So I think we're going to get some really fun stuff, really fun comments, and really fun debates going on. Because there was some very interesting things that went down in this episode. Obviously, I think we can pretty much imply Charlie Brown asked, did Star Trek get its own midi-chlorians? I think that might be the case.
Oh, I hope not.
Yeah, no, I don't think they're going to go that route either because it's okay. So I think we know that from the way propulsion technology advances through Starfleet into the 23rd century, or more into the 23rd and 24th centuries, that whatever the Discovery is working on is doomed for failure. But I want to know everything about it.
Yeah.
Like,
I've actually watched the after show, and they're acting, of course, you all know about Star Trek being based off of science, and so the whole premise of spores is actually based off of a science's work, which actually did a TED Talks seminar. And so I actually had that particular scientist on the after show, After Trek, and they talk about how the spores, about this web that they were talking about on the show. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, it is really interesting. I think we could talk about kind of agree how like Paul Stamets, Lieutenant Paul Stamets, who was a really fun character, very douchebaggery. Like I'm curious as what's going to go on with him. He seems very uncomfortable in the warlike drive that Starfleet's working on right now, and I'm glad they're kind of hitting on that themes. They talked about it briefly in episode 2, and now they talked about it more in this one. It's like, no, we're explorers. Like we are not. This is not, although Starfleet has militaristic roles in time, that's not their primary mission. Like they are explorers. So they're very uncomfortable with this militaristic role. He's very upset that his research is being used for warfare. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him. He spoke briefly in the episode of how at the quantum level everything is quantum physics. Everything is quantum physics. So it kind of leads me to believe that this form of travel that they're working on, this form of propulsion, is like some kind of early quantum slipstream, maybe. When they're talking about going 90 light years in 1.3 seconds, that is very similar speeds to what we saw in the 2370s when Voyager was dealing with their quantum slipstream stuff in those episodes.
Maybe a little quantum entanglement thrown in there.
Yeah. Definitely some quantum physics. But we do know, because of the way the propulsion systems work, that this system is doomed for failure. And I think this is my biggest question right now. I was like, okay, what the hell's going on? And tell me more. I must know more.
So discovery is the reason for Section 31, basically.
I don't know. No, probably not.
Well, not the reason, but a part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got another comment from Captain Jesse. Says, I'm still not a Michael Burnham fan, but at least she did her job after a debate with Captain Section 31 Lorca. She also said sorry to Commander Saru. I think I definitely think Lorca is Section 31, has ties with Section 31.
Oh yeah.
At the end, though, Jesus, man, I can't believe they kept that thing. How did they get that thing? And what was that animal?
I don't know. I don't know. And like Lorca in his little island of Dr. Moreau laboratory with all the alien creatures and stuff. Like, what is he doing?
Here's the other question. Was it on Discovery before they got to the Glen? Did they beam it on to the ship as part of the whole test for Michael Burnham?
Dude. That's what I'm thinking about.
That is a very interesting idea there, sir. DJF Entertainment says there was an episode of Next Generation where they had similar technology. Do y'all remember that? But it was from another race. I'm blanking on that. The Travelers, the Traveler, when the Traveler and Wesley Crusher were working together, and they super speed for the Enterprise. Okay, so I do remember that. I can't remember what that.
But the Traveler showed up twice.
That was bending thought, though. What? That wasn't like spores, or maybe it was another version of that.
See, I don't know if the spores are a method of like the driving force of the propulsion, or if it's just the
byproduct.
Okay, since Charlie Brown brought up midichlorians, I'm going to talk about midichlorians for a second. Just how the midichlorians don't create the Force, they allow you to communicate with the Force. I wonder if the spores are just a way of Discovery being able to track and manipulate these quantum things. So I don't know.
Like instead of antimatter, they use these spores.
DJ F Entertainment said he was talking specifically about the traveling spores. I don't remember. I'm going to have to do some. Do y'all remember that? Because I do not. I'm blanking on that.
Okay, are we talking about the ones that the Enterprise got stuck in? Those that were traveling through space at accelerated race? The rate, excuse me.
Maybe. I'm currently blanking on the episode. I'm going to have to figure that out. Captain Jesse goes, Captain seems to have more knowledge of the first contact mission in the Enterprise in 200 years of Starfleet. Charlie Brown says like a spider web of spores. Like, there's so many questions. Like, I'm going to have to watch this episode again, like, because there's a lot of things that I don't really understand on that first viewing. I definitely can't wait to figure it out. That's for sure. But I'm curious as to where this is going to go in the future.
I like the fact, sorry to interrupt, but I like the fact that every person that Burnham got in contact with called the Klingon encounter her war. You know what I mean?
So Starfleet completely blames Michael Burnham for the start of the Klingon War, the Klingon Federation War. And I don't know if that's entirely fair. They might be putting their own prejudices on it. Because remember, the Klingons did shoot first. Michael Burnham charged weapons. She was going to shoot, but the weapons were never fired. The Klingons shot first.
Or lunged first in this case. So.
Yeah. Well, no, they literally, when the Klingon ships popped in and then the Federation ships popped in right behind them, T'Kuvma gave the order, to fire.
He was going to do that anyway. It was all perpetuated.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So I'm kind of curious as to whether or not Starfleet is just using Michael Burnham as a scapegoat. If that's just a focal point for their rage. Because even the prisoners were like, it's Michael Burnham. Fuck her. Like, whoa. It was like, 8,000 lives are your fault. And she was like 8,187. Like
86 at first.
Yeah. She feels very deeply. You can tell she's very remorseful for her mistakes. I'm going to have to do another Michael Burnham video. I think I might have to do a Michael Burnham video after every single one of these episodes just to track how her character progresses throughout the season.
You call it the Chronicles of Burnham.
It's not a bad title.
Trademark.
That's not a bad title, sir.
Did everyone catch on Stamets when he was kind of dusting off the spores off of his uniform?
Yeah.
I'm thinking, did he go into the chamber, perhaps? And you can, how Burnham went to the chamber and she saw all of these different worlds simultaneously. Could that have something to play with Stamets? That maybe he went to another world and probably done something stupid, maybe?
Or hell, he probably went to the other ship. You never know.
Yeah. Maybe went to the other ship. Yeah. Captain Jesse brings up a very interesting point. Are the spores the earliest development of Voyager's bioneurological packs? That bioneural
the 7-9 for 7-9?
The gel pack thing?
Yeah, the bioneurological gel packs that the Intrepid class ships used in the 2370s. So I wonder if there's some kind of correlation between the two. That another 100 years of advancement, and you get this biological neurological system. Working through the ship. It's a very interesting idea. I mean, it's a very possible idea. I mean, I don't know if there's any evidence for that right now. Maybe. I hope we find out. That's for sure. Oh, man. There was some very wicked things in this episode. Okay. So, hypothesis time. All right. The spore allows for some kind of space folding. The ability to move from A to B or to B in every point simultaneously, almost like Warp 10. not Warp 10. We're not going to see any salamanders or regression into salamanders and little salamander babies.
Yeah.
But this is very, very similar to that possible idea. So the idea is maybe that the space folding idea, and I call it space folding because of the way the crew of the Glen were just completely tied up in the knots. They called it braiding. Was the word they used. That the exterior of the Glen's hull showed the braiding, and then the bodies were just twisted up and it.
Did you see what's the name of the son? The chief, the engineering dude.
Landry. No,
Landry?
Paul Stamets.
Okay,
Stamets.
He went to his friend. You see his back? God, Jesus.
Yes.
Bones coming out of his back.
Yes. He was twisted up. Well, now we know where that TVMA we talked about a few weeks ago popped up. Not language nudity, well, language a little bit of nudity because there was definitely the S-bomb dropped in this episode, which I thought was very. It took me back for a second when she goes, "Shit, it worked." I don't mean that makes sense.
These were surprisingly human in that episode. She was hardcore human. I mean, the hell, just dropping, hell, shit,
She has been kicking herself in the rear end for the past 6 months in prison.
She seems pissed, though.
She's mad at herself. And when she executed that Seuss Manal on those douchebags in the mess hall, which was a very TOS-looking mess hall, even with the synthesizer stations, with the numbered synthesizer stations and all that, I was like, oh, that's original series. Yes, the color palette's a little different. It looks a little new, but that is original series. Thank you. That was really cool. And her breaking out that Vulcan martial arts and just laying it down on those other criminals. The guy that killed 3 Andorians. She was very, very interesting. Captain Jesse brings up another interesting point. Isn't it interesting that Cadet Tilly actually outranks Burnham now? She went from being, the most celebrated.
It makes you wonder, what is her position and rank going to be now that she's on the ship?
Her position and rank on the Discovery is Lorca's bitch.
I think the chief of security is Lorca's.
Well, yeah, I maybe, but I think Burnham is going to do exactly what Lorca tells her to do. And nothing more and nothing less. She will eat when Lorca says eat and sleep when Lorca says sleep. And that's her life from now on. Because Lorca, he immediately strikes me as, I want to say a tyrant, because a tyrant has a negative connotation to it.
You think he's going to be the bad, he is going to be the overarching bad guy in the end?
No. Do I think he's a bad guy? Not at all. No, I don't think. Do I think he's going to be the artist of the captains?
He's showing tendencies, though, dude. He's showing the tropes of
we don't know anything about the character. We don't know much about the character at all. Is he darker than your average Starfleet captain? Oh, absolutely, right off the bat. And they did that thematically with the imagery of his eyesight being damaged. So the lighting has to come up very, very, very slowly when he's in a room. So he stays in his ready room all the time. We didn't see him on the bridge at all this episode.
His ready room is,
which I thought was interesting.
His ready room is bleak, bare bones almost.
Yeah, except for the tribble on the desk.
Yeah, totally caught that.
Oh yeah. Well, as long as if it's just one, you're good. You get 2 on the board, and it's over. So as long as it's just one, the Discovery is safe from the tribulations. PJ's channel. PJ's back watching the show. He said he liked the monster, and he quotes the line from Lorca, "Here, kitty," which was really just good. And then Saru and Burnham may grow close because they weren't before. Maybe. Maybe it's obvious that Saru has a lot of respect for Burnham. Well, had a lot of respect for Burnham, and wants to respect Burnham's abilities and what she can do in Starfleet and her abilities as a Starfleet officer. He even called her the smartest Starfleet officer that he's ever met.
But told her to her face, she's dangerous.
But she's dangerous because she is. She is completely dangerous. I don't know if she could be trusted.
I like the warning he gave her. It was a warning and a slap in the face at the same time.
Oh yeah.
He's like, I will do a better job protecting my captain than you did yours. And I was just like, I looked over at my wife and I'm like, wow, that's savage. Wow.
Yeah, very savage.
Oh man, this is a really good episode. This felt. I'm of two minds. I'm of two minds here, because it felt like classic Star Trek in a lot of ways. Spatial anomalies, fun creatures. Let's go board the ghost ship and see what happened. So it had those very classic Star Trek kind of notes to it, which was really awesome. But it's filmed. It's so new feeling. It's so new feeling. Like we're getting these stories told in new ways. It felt, I don't want to compare it to another franchise, but it felt like Battlestar Galactica. You know, and it was Star Trek, but it was filmed and edited and felt like I was watching an episode of BSG, which is a good thing.
That documentary style of filmmaking, yeah.
Yeah. Where usually in Star Trek series, the camera is set in one spot on the bridge, and then we're kind of sit back and we're just watching the scene take place. The camera's moving in and out, and it's shot as though we're an observer, like we're there with them and working around them. It's very uniquely done, and it suits the story so well. It's different. It's different. It's a little jarring because you want to immediately compare it to every previous Star Trek series that we've ever seen, and you want it to fit that mold, and it's not. I mean, it's obviously Star Trek, and it's not violating canon as much as people want to say it is, and all these other things that people complain. All the contrarians in the world. I mean, it's not perfect by any means as well, but it's really freaking good to me. Yeah. So, what do y'all think about that? How are you taking the classic Star Trek kind of story with this new way of telling the story?
Works for me.
Yeah, I mean, every series that's gone about since the original, Next Gen was a new story, that was taking you in the direction that you didn't think you were going to go.
Right.
Such as DS9, first time you ever stayed on a space station. Voyager.
Yeah.
Voyager, you're not in your granddad's space universe anymore. This one and this one. What you have to think about the time frame from Voyager, the last Star Trek movie, now to Discovery. We've been devoid of Trek for so long, outside of reruns and Netflix and everything. But it's good to go home, but you go home yet not be in that same place. Home is different now,
Right. Absolutely. And
I concur with Pat. Man. It's basically for every series is something brand new, something you've never seen before. And I think really the best part of Discovery right now continues to be, its characters and their relationships between each other. I mean, there's canon out the door. I mean, it's the core of Star Trek's always been the relationship with its characters, and that's something that's been constant throughout every series, and that's what I like.
And now we're getting
absolutely.
And now we're getting a flawed character. Michael Byrne is like uber flawed. You know, she is
Absolutely.
she's trapped in two worlds: the world of being a human and what she's been brought up as a Vulcan. You know, and now we're entangled in the beginning of the Klingon War. How did it start? Or in this time frame, how did it start? You know, and the fact that no one on Discovery likes her outside of Tilly and outside of what's the first officer name?
Sorrow.
Sorry. Okay. Once as this goes on, I'll learn the names. But Jesus.
Of course, yeah. It's only the third episode, man. Ain't nobody got all this stuff memorized.
Yeah. Outside of those two characters and maybe Lorca, I mean, Byrne's on her own. Yeah.
Right. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Every new character we meet is a new encounter, you know, and they all have their own prejudice against her, you know, in some way, shape, or form. Look at the engineering dude. He don't like her because he feels like, oh, one, she's a lurker, and you know, she's the source of all the crap, you know, all his pits and you know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And one of the things about Michael Burnham is very interesting. Is like in the first couple of episodes, she was very much torn between the world of being raised as a Vulcan and being a human being, and not being able to balance the two. Now, in this episode, she's yet split between two other different worlds: the world of Michael Burnham, mutineer, prison for life, versus Michael Burnham, brilliant Starfleet science officer. And balancing those two now, like, because she's self-determined to kick herself in the ass, and I don't blame her. So now she is going to be constantly be a character of drawn between two worlds, and drawn in multiple directions. Captain Jesse brings up a very interesting point right now. Was Captain Lorca at Michael Burnham's court-martial given the low lights?
I have a feeling that was him, dude.
Court martial was in the dark, in the black. You know,
I think
he
that
at the
was
court
him.
martial?
He was due in the middle. He had to be.
I mean, it seems possible. It seems possible. That'd be a hell of a reveal later on. It's like, no, and he's like, yeah, you know, I was at your court martial. You know, I'm the one that sentenced you, and I've given you another chance. So maybe not, maybe so. Who knows? We might find out. We'll find out.
Well, that's what he said. Don't worry about Starfleet. Basically, said, I got that. Yeah.
It's very interesting too. Here's a little bit more evidence that he may be Section 31, and it might be a little premature throwing this out there. But when he said that Starfleet gave him the clearance to run this war as he sees fit, I'm gonna call it now. Lorca's Section 31. I'm gonna make that prediction right now. I may be wrong. I don't mind being wrong, but I'm gonna call it. I think he is.
It'd be kind of cool to have that name drop towards the end, Section 31. You know.
Well, I mean, we see it in all the episodes, in all the series where Section 31 pops up, and even in some of the non-canon Trek novels about Section 31. It's like every time there's some super devious shit going down in the Federation, Section 31's involved. Every time.
Right.
You know, especially when there's wars going down. You know, when there's conflicts going down. Let's see, we see in Enterprise, we see Section 31 pop up at the end of the Temporal War. In Next Generation, we see Section 31 pop up during the Cardassian conflict.
Yeah, but in Next Gen, Section 31 came to take out the Enterprise, saying they you know.
They do all kinds of things, man. They're not legit. I mean, they're legit, but they're not necessarily the good guys. In DS9, we see Section 31 get involved during the Dominion War.
Oh yeah.
Voyager didn't have any Section 31. I said that Section 39, 31, DS9, Section 31. It got blended together into Section 39. Yeah,
they were too far out.
Voyager was too far out, so we didn't get any Section 31 stories then. But whenever the Federation is at war, Section 31 rears its head and does some black ops shit.
Which begs the question is, could Captain Lorca be perhaps maybe beginning the process of grooming Michael Burnham to be a member of Section 31?
You know, like she like
Court martial,
like he's
Darth Vader
grooming her. Like he's grooming her. Maybe. Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe the black badges are of Section 31.
That's what I'm gonna ask you. Maybe
Because there was one dude. There was one dude with the black badge. He's the one sitting there with a rifle. Very cool rifles, by the way. In this, I love the weapon design. Because did we ever see a phaser rifle in the original series, or was it just a pistol?
Only in the second pilot we did.
Okay.
They were there. They looked ridiculous, but it was the '60s. So.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because it had like the dish on the front.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember now. Captain Jesse asks, is there any family relations between Lily from Earth and 2063 First Contact and Michael Burnham? Probably not. I'm probably going to go no. I really doubt that very much. I mean, I doubt it. But, I mean, who knows? It's been 200 years, so it's possible. Oh man. Okay. So what were we'll just go around the table. What was your favorite part of tonight's episode?
I say the discovery itself, personally. Just seeing it in action, just is like, oh my god, this shit is cool. It's so cool.
It's freaking gorgeous. Yeah, absolutely.
I have a second one, the shuttlecraft. So what the hell were those things? That was badass. They had warp capability.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
Well, those were definitely long range shuttles. Definitely long range. You know, probably a distant relation to the runabouts at DS9.
Yeah.
So, what about you, Will? What was your favorite part of the episode?
Oh wow. If when this stands out, is probably when Burnham's going through the Jeffries tube. She's quoting Alice in Wonderland. She's trying to escape from the monster. That was amazing.
Yeah, it was really good.
Was that to
really
keep her
good.
from freaking out?
Yeah, man. Whatever works, man. Whatever keeps the mind focused.
But I do love the line where she said,
Right.
every Federation ship's the same, and she knew exactly where she was.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Every Federation's got basically is about very similar designs. Kevin, what was your favorite part of the episode?
I've actually got two favorite parts. Where when they were being chased by the creature, and they're running through the ship, and she goes through the Jeffries tubes. I do like that part too. And then she drops through the hatch and drops into the shuttle. That was cool. And
Right.
Then the scene in Lorca's Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah, that was really good.
At that point, I just had to sort of stop and go, what? What is this?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was definitely some kind of a. Let's see. Jude Funnyword said the best part of the episode was the Klingon shushing them before getting eaten. Yeah, that was funny.
That was funny.
When Officer Landry goes,
Are you shushing her?
did he just shush you? And he gets eaten. I was like, yeah, that's legit. That was really cool. It definitely had this kind of this alien, space horror kind of vibe to it. That was a lot of fun. There was definitely high tension there, so that was nice. I think my favorite part of the episode, and this is probably my favorite part of every one of the series, and I mentioned it before, was that hero establishing shot. The first time you really see the ship and it establishes it. Oh man, God! The Discovery is gorgeous. Like, that is a pretty ship. That is a very pretty ship. I mean, it's brand new. You know, I thought it might have had some. There's a little possible hint towards Section 31. They always get the newest toys, and Discovery and the Glen were brand new ships.
Yep.
Yeah, the hero shots, establishing shots of the Discovery. Oh, the ship.
Did anybody notice where the when you see the close up of it, part where that central saucer where the bridge is, it's an orb.
Yeah.
that central part is an orb.
It's very reminiscent of the Daedalus class, except with a couple of concentric rings around it.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. It felt original series. It felt in that time frame of the original series. It felt legit. I liked it. Yeah. The coloring of the whole plane reminded me of the Enterprise E, though, but whatever. It's a minor thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like the pilot episode when you saw the camera go directly into the bridge. And you saw that again with the Discovery.
Yeah, like right.
The same type of shot.
Like not just into the bridge, but into the bridge, through the bridge, to the door of the turbo lift, and it pulled back on the microburn. I'm like, okay, that was cool. That was nice. Mm-hmm. They definitely spared no expense, man. Spared no expense, and it was really great too because the show's already paid for. They announced very early into. A few weeks before the show premiered, that due to the Netflix deals, the show's paid for. So it doesn't matter if 5 people watch it or 5 million people watch it. They've already paid for it. They've already made their money. Everything else is profit from here on out. So which is good, which means we're at least going to get this full season.
Yeah.
The question is, did Captain? Let's see. A couple more comments in here from Captain Jesse. I like Jesse. Jesse's interactive. I like that. Keep the comments coming. Cool. Let's see. Also, the Klingon shush and the blowing up of the USS Glenn. Then why could the Glenn not be able to be salvaged? Probably to protect the data on the Glenn. You know, to protect prying eyes. That black alert. That Section 31. The evidence is just piling up. You know, the more I look at it, I'm like, okay, I really.
What do you tell the Federation, though, man? Wait, what do you tell?
Section 31 tells the Federation whatever the hell they want.
We blew the ship because we felt like it. Yeah.
It's like, none of your business. Shut your mouth.
And Captain Lorca said, "It's just a ship. It's just a ship." So,
yeah, it's just a ship. It's a pretty ship. It's an expensive ship. It's a fast ship, but it's just a ship. Captain Jesse asked, did Captain Picard or Captain Sisko start Section 31 with a 21st century mission when they went back in time? I don't know. I don't know. I see. I'm gonna have to do some research. I'm gonna have to do some research on that question. The answer to that's not popping up in my head. I'm sure there's some trickies out there watching this that are just screaming right now. Like, why do you not know this? You're hosting a Star Trek show.
Well, it's because it never was mentioned. The history of Section 31 has never been told.
And it shouldn't be
outside of a book, outside of a novel. You know.
And it shouldn't be. Section 31 should be like Area 51. Like, we know it exists, but we don't know why. You know, keep that air of mystery. Like, who's really pulling the strings of Section 31? What I'm gonna talk about a J.J. Abrams film. What what Into Darkness did with Section 31 was legit. It really was. The ship was ridiculous, but
right.
I mean, pretty badass, but ridiculous. It was like the Federation equivalent of a Star Destroyer. I don't know how I feel about that ship.
Let's take a ship like the Enterprise and pimp it out, like beyond pimp out. We're talking extravagant. We're
totally okay
stupid.
with fine with the ship. You know, it was a little overpowered, but
little.
Hey, DJ.
I still say take that design and base the Excelsior class off of it in the Abrams verse.
Right. DJ F Entertainment said, I sub to your channel. I'm glad y'all are not bashing the new show bandwagon like every other people. Why would we don't want to bash what we love? You know, we could spend our whole show talking about the things we didn't like about the episode or nitpick little things or what have you. But what fun is that? We're enjoying this thing. We're trying to talk about it. You know, like fans, for fans, to fans. It's no fun to just brag on things. Like name a contrarian in this world that has a good day.
All it takes is one bad day.
They don't exist. Like being a contrarian is horrible. So no, DJF Entertainment, thank you, sir. Thank you for the sub.
Now, that being said, if they screw up, then we'll call them out on it. But you know,
right? No. If something happens where they hit a bad episode, we'll talk about it. Like I don't know if I don't know how I feel about Stamets. I'm sorry. I need to see more of him. He like not talking about his performance or anything like that, but I just don't know if I like the guy.
He screams,
Yeah.
he's dead. He screams, he's dead in the next few episodes. To me, man.
He's a dick.
Yeah, he's just taking things way too personal. Way too personal, I think.
Yeah, of course. Is the character's husband stationed on the Discovery, or was it implied that the guy on the Glen was his partner?
I had the feeling it was on the Glen.
Yeah.
Okay, because
That's how I felt.
he took it very, very personally, and not ready to talk about that yet. If so, I mean, I feel bad for the guy. Nobody wants to lose a friend. Of course, he was douchey before he lost his friend. So I don't. Maybe he's just a douche. Like, who knows? We'll find out. Let's see. Did Starfleet retrieve any ships from the Battle of the Binary Stars? I'm sure they salvaged what they could. To inadvertently completely quote PJ right there. Chad is active tonight. I love it. That's great.
Well,
bring it on, guys.
Well, the Shinzo didn't blow up. We thought it was gonna go boom boom. It just got gutted. You know? So it could be salvaged.
PJ's channel goes, Stamets is a right prick. I like him. Fair enough, man. Fair enough.
I still say that guy's dead before the season's over.
Maybe. Who knows, man? He is a long term character. What is the actor name? Anthony Sapp. He's very active with fans. He's a member of the Star Trek Discovery unofficial fan group on Facebook, and he's all the time talking with fans. So the actor is very cool. Definitely a very cool dude. See what happens. DJF Entertainment says that he's a fan of Stamets as well. It says, quote, gotta have dicks in the show. Like, maybe so. Like, sometimes, one of the problems with the world sometimes is that there's not enough dicks just calling it how it is. Like, sometimes you just got to call a spade and just say, hey, this is the way it is. Sorry if you don't like it. Not my problem.
You were saying we need more of those to level out the world, I guess. I mean, nothing wrong with that. I don't got no problem with it.
Right. Hey, sometimes you just got to call it out.
The truth hurts, but it's needed sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, occasionally. And I'm sure he'll soften, as the series goes on, or he may not. We don't really know how the character is going to react to. We know he's not a fan of Lorca at all. He calls Lorca a warmonger, which is probably the worst insult you could call a Starfleet captain in Star Trek, is a warmonger.
Yeah, how can you be serving under that warmonger? If you
well, you don't get to choose who you serve under in the military. They tell you where to go and you go. So I don't know. He's not a fan of the whole situation. I wonder if he's not a fan of Lorca specifically, or if Stamets is like the ensign from the second episode where he's like, "Why are we fighting? We're explorers. We are scientists." He even makes that comment to Lorca. He's like, "Oh, that cumbersome science." Who knows? Who knows? Captain Jesse goes, as for my view of Star Trek Discovery, it really starts at episode 3. Yeah, I completely agree with that. In a couple of the other videos I've made, I talked about how episodes 1 and 2 really are the prologue to the story. They are the setup for Star Trek Discovery. Now, here's what's interesting. Here's something interesting. When they announced Star Trek Discovery, they originally said it's going to be 13 episodes long. Then they said, okay, we've expanded it to 15. So it makes me wonder if the prologue was added on at the end to set up the series. You know, like when everything was announced and everything was written, it's like, okay, we're going to do it this way. And they're like, you know what? Let's do a prologue. Let's tell some early stories. Let's set everything up. You know, let's have like a movie night to jumpstart the show. Because remember what I said last week. The first 2 episodes of prologue of Star Trek Discovery are the best Star Trek film since First Contact. I completely think that. Let's see. DJF Entertainment agrees with that as well. Well, not with necessarily that the prologue was the best Star Trek movie since First Contact, but that the prologue was out there. See, Captain Jessica goes, Star Trek Discovery episode 1 and 2 felt way too much like Star Wars for my liking, even more Star Wars than Rogue One.
Yeah, I talked about that last week. Yeah.
Oh dear. Joe,
viewership just tanked.
How dare you, sir? How dare you?
All we need is Super Bowl ones.
Dun, 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 dun.
PJ, I want to know if we've talked about the gore and the cussing. We mentioned it. Oh no, I've been called a traitor by DJF Entertainment. Sir, you can enjoy both. There's no division. I am average Joe, the average geek. I like it all. Like, I have alien stuff all across my desk right here. I've got Star Wars. I've got Star Trek. I've got Batman. Hey, no traitor here. I love it all.
The jack of all trades.
Absolutely, a geek, a geek of all genres.
What did you used to call yourself?
Oh no, he says he's unsubbing. Like, we just added you as a sub, dude, and you're unsubbing. I don't know how I feel about that, man.
Oh
now who's
God.
the traitor? You turncoat real quick, man. Oh. Okay, so Captain Jesse goes, yeah, I know you're just kidding, DJF Entertainment. I'm enjoy joking around, man. I'm a jokester. It's all good, brother. All right, so Captain Jesse goes, maybe Michael Burnham was placed on the Shinzo by Sarek, and Lorca was a sleeper intelligence officer on Section 30 for Section 31. Maybe.
Wow.
Maybe.
I can't remember.
We don't really know. There's not a whole lot of way to really find out. I'm sure we'll get more information on that. That definitely. Oh man. Okay, so the language and the gore. Was it too much? Was it too much for Star Trek, or was it perfect 2017 kind of stuff? What do you think, guys?
I thought it was perfect. I mean, there was nothing really questionable about it. I'm like, okay, well, you hear that kind of language pretty much any day anyway. So it's like, it's nothing big for me. But as far as the gore is concerned, oh my gosh, that this poor disfigured human face, my God, that was just probably the most accurate depiction I've seen ever. It was like, ugh.
It was a little frightening. It had some horror story elements to it.
Oh yeah,
alien.
It wasn't gratuitous.
No, it wasn't gratuitous. It served the story.
Okay, yeah. If you want to say gratuitous, then you have to literally see someone get decapitated, like, you know, bones breaking and being twisted apart and everything like that. Right. That's gratuitous. Now, seeing bodies strewn all over a floor, that's just go, huh, a pile of bodies. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I sent that picture in our little group chat the other day of the screenshot that showed the bodies twisted up like pretzels. I'm like, yeah, like, okay, so now we know where the TVMA comes from. I thought it was great. Yeah, I sadly I cuss like a sailor anyway, so the language didn't bother me. It really made it feel real. It made it feel real. It made it feel like there's actual human beings, and not these kind of cookie cutter characters.
PG-13 characters.
Yeah. Like Michael Burnham's been in prison for 6 months. Like, I'm sure shit is not the worst thing she has said.
Right.
You know, that was a really good episode to me. Really good episode to me. If it was a little slow at getting going, you know, but once it started going, man, it went hard. So, no, not everybody's speaking once.
Well, you said it went hard, and you said the show went hard, and like my mind immediately went gutter. So I said, nah, I'm shut up. So
DJ Entertainment goes, "LOL, they look like the pretzel dough before it's been cooked." Yeah, it's not a bad way of describing it, man. Yeah. They look like the pretzel dough before it's been cooked. I mean, oh man, I hope it was instant. I hope it was instantaneous. You know, I really do really do hope it was instantaneous, because that would look like a horrible way to die.
No prolonged deaths.
Well, I mean, like, this is what happens with spatial anomalies. Like, okay, like, and Voyager was really good when they went through that period of space where the ship was twisting and space around them was twisting and molding and moving and stuff like that. And it was wave of distortion through the ship, and it was blowing out EPS conduits and consoles all over the place. EPS conduits, they suck. You know, like, you think Starfleet would phase them out. There goes that EPS conduit again.
You always see someone take one to the face.
Absolutely, like we said, it's not like in the prologue, which is what I'm calling it. It felt like Star Trek to me when the console blew up in the navigator's face. Just, I'm like, okay, we're home. There it is. But if space is twisting in such a way, yeah, if space is twisting in such a way that it would damage your ship, it's going to damage the people inside the ship too, because, you know, space, like space-time, the space-time continuum. We're all matter in the same space-time continuum. But it didn't do that. It did in Discovery. Yep. Kevin Jensen goes, I thought that Sylvia Tilly was going to shit her pants when she found out that Michael Burnham is her new roommate. Like, that was the look on her face. It's like the
you're not that Michael, are you?
Are you?
Right. It's like, please don't be that, Michael. Oh, you are.
I love that slow turn that Burnham did. Tilt their head to it. It's just like,
right. Like, Michael Burnham's like, oh God, I wish you would just shut up already. I think we've all had that roommate in college or what have you that we just really didn't like. Like, oh God, why did student services give you to me?
And I have peanut allergies, so I can't be around you.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, whatever. It's like, well, I'm allergic to bullshit. Go away.
Under your bed.
Right.
Hey, did
Just
you
a little subtle
like
murder.
Tilly's? I would say com badge, but I don't know. We don't know if those things can communicate. But
No, they can't.
hers,
They can't.
they okay, but hers was kind of different than
Well, she's a
anyone
cadet.
else's.
She's a Starfleet cadet. She has not graduated Starfleet. She's a brilliant physicist and theoretical engineer. But she's being fast tracked through the system. But she has not graduated Starfleet Academy. She is this ship's Wesley Crusher.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Calls it how I sees it.
Well, so far she's less annoying than Wesley Crusher.
The field experience with Wesley Crusher.
Shut up,
That
Tilly.
is true. Shut up, Tilly. How long is it going to take until we hear the first "Shut up, Tilly"? And if that's going to be the running gag throughout this show, I just see her on the bridge just yammering away, and I'm not knocking the character whatsoever because this is the character quirk for her. She was portrayed brilliantly by the actress that plays her. What was her name? Mary Weissman, something Weissman. Weissman's her last name. So she's going to be a really fun character. But yeah, she's Discovery's Wesley Crusher. Or Harry Kim.
Hey, I like Harry Kim, man. Come on.
Nah, Harry was my boy. Everybody else on Voyager got a field promotion but him.
The most underappreciated character in Star Trek.
Absolutely.
Even the holographic doctor got promoted over Harry Kim.
PJ goes, the only other girl named Michael I know of is that mutineer. Oh shit, you're her? Fuck me. Truth.
Yep.
Oh man, that was good stuff. That was very good stuff.
Do you think they're gonna put those black badges out for sale? Because I want one now, man.
Me too, man.
I want to rock a black badge.
Me too. So let's straight up like Twitter campaign hashtag I want a black com badge.
We will make that trending tomorrow
right there.
morning.
There
You
we
will
go.
see I want a black com badge.
You hear that? You hear that? People on the chat, go to Twitter right there. Hashtag I want a black com badge at CBS Studios.
I'm doing it now.
I mean, they sell them MSRP of $19.99. I'm sure we could carry them at Books A Million. Like, I could bring it on. Like, I want hashtag I want a black com badge. Hell, I want any of the com badges from Discovery because those things are slick looking.
Excellent.
It's like I want the uniform, but like I don't think they make them in my size. that tight uniform on my rather large hut-like body would not be nice. Not an attractive thing.
Gotta get baggy, dude.
Hey, man, I'll do it anyway. No shame. Whatever, no shame. It's okay. Hashtag body positive. Don Juan, welcome to the show, Don Juan. He just says, just got here, but I enjoyed episode 3, section 31, if you haven't already discussed it. See, I told you, everybody's going to be talking section 31. Like, we've been talking section 31 the entire show, Don Juan. Like, straight up, man. I think everybody's pretty much accepted that Lorca is section 31. Maybe a little. Captain Jesse goes maybe a bit more gold and red uniforms could be more colorful. Yeah. One of the things that we do know from production is that Starfleet is using a lot of different uniforms on a lot of different crews. Apparently, the gold tunics and the blue and red tunics we see in the original series is being used by Constitution class ships. So we may see them in the future. They've also said that the design aesthetic is going to move more and more towards the original series as the show progresses, which is cool. Definitely cool.
Yeah, with Michael Burnham's prison uniform, and Harkins that TOS type uniform in a way.
Right. Okay. So we've been running for about an hour now. That's about the length of time our shows usually go. So let's close it out with a couple of things. First, let's talk to the audience in the chat room. Chat room, 1 to 10. How would you rate the episode? I'm gonna read them off. Let's see what they say. While we're waiting on them to respond, let's see. Kevin, 1 to 10. How would you rate the episode?
I would give it a solid, probably. I'd give it a 7.
7?
Horrible, but it's shown it's good. I don't think we've seen as good as it can be yet.
Okay.
But good.
Let's see. PJ's channel in chat agrees with you. He rated it a 7. Just Sheldon. Hey, welcome to the chat, Just Sheldon. Rated it a 6. Jew Funny Word. Rated it a 10. Captain Jesse says most improved officer 9. DJF Entertainment 8. John Shanner 8. How about you, Pat? 1 to 10. What would you rate the episode?
I stick with a 7.
7? Okay.
Yep.
All right, that's why 7 is a very respectable number. Very respectable number. Will, what would you rate it?
Probably about 7 as well. Only because I have to rewatch it again. Just to clarify a few little hidden details I may have missed the first time. But yeah, very rewatchable.
Right, absolutely. I'm bouncing between a 7 and an 8 myself. Yeah, which is very good. This is very, very good. 10s are hard to get. A 10 is like the inner light from the Next Generation, or Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra. Those are 10s. Those are 10s. Those are very high levels. Those are hard to get. Those are the best episodes the series has to offer. That's a 10 for me. So we have to see more. But right now, I'm right there at between 7 and 8. I'm leaning towards 8. I'm leaning towards 8. Hey, thank you very much, DJF Entertainment. I'm glad you hung out for the show. He says, like hanging out with you guys. I hope your fan base grows. You guys are awesome. No, sir, you are awesome. Thank you very much. I hope you come back each week, man. John Shannon says yesterday's Enterprise is a 10. Yes, yesterday's Enterprise is a 10. That's a 10.
Yeah.
Best of Both Worlds, 10.
Best of Both Worlds is a 10.
Voyager, the Equinox episodes, 10s.
On Deep Space Nine, the Siege of AR-558 is a 10.
10.
Yes.
Absolutely. Original series, City on the Edge of Forever, 10. Like those are hard to achieve. So yeah. Final thoughts on the episodes, guys. What's your final thought on the episode?
It was good. You said it earlier in the show that this was the actual official first episode. So yeah. Heck yeah! If we're gonna get this every week, yeah, I'm down for it.
Scorpion was a 10, sir. Yes, Scorpion was a 10 for Voyager.
Yeah,
the introduction of 7 and 9.
Yep.
Kevin, final thoughts on the episode?
I agree. It was a great quasi beginning. If this is, like I agree with Pat. If this is what we're gonna get, I'm cool with it. I think it's going to get better though.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
The more the world.
DJF goes 7 of mine.
7 to 9, always best girl, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was a good line, Jesse. That was a very good line. All right, Will, what was your final thoughts on the episode, sir?
I love it when a series leaves me with more questions than answers. And I tell you, it hit the nail on the head on this episode, and I'm just craving some more.
So the I want a black com badge hashtag has started. Thank you, PJ Channel. Thank you, Pat, for getting that going. I'm going to retweet that myself. Let's get it going. I want a black com badge. Put it everywhere. Put it everywhere. All the fan boards, all over Twitter. Just hashtag I want a black com badge everywhere, and we will get one by Christmas time. I guarantee it.
I want one by the time NC Comic Con rolls around.
Yes.
Go to it.
Yes. Yes. See, my final thoughts on the episode. I think it was fantastic. It was a great way to start. It was really nice seeing those classic Star Trek kind of stories told in a new way. Spatial anomalies and derelict ships and monsters and exploration and science and Star Trek. My Twitter is at AVG Joe. AVG Geek. So at Average Joe, Average Geek. AVG Joe, AVG Geek. So that's my Twitter. Yeah, great stuff. Great stuff. So, all right, everybody, that is going to do it for this week's episode of Exploring Star Trek Discovery. This was a fun one. We had a lot of fun tonight. Great stuff. I love talking about this stuff with you guys. Fantastic, man. It takes me back to back in the day, man. Take me back to high school. I love that shit. We will be back each and every week. Remember, go ahead and hit that little watermark on the right-hand side of the screen. You'll see it was right there. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're going to come back to you every week. We're going to talk about a lot of great stuff. Yeah. Hey, thanks, John Shanner. Come back and see us next week. But go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Yeah, great stuff, guys. I am Average Joe, the Average Geek, and with my bridge crew, of course, Kevin Stallings, Pat Whitehead, Will Smith, and we will see y'all again next week. Go ahead, give this video a like, sub to the channel, share it with your friends. Let's get this community going. All right, guys, and we will talk to y'all very, very soon. And yes, Captain Jesse, Orville, Thursday nights. I have my Orville reviews on my channel. Check those out. Really good stuff. This last week was great. Orville is a lot of fun. Orville has a fun. Anybody that says, "Oh, the contrarians on the internet, like the verses," screw all that. That's garbage. They're two totally different shows that can be enjoyed in two totally different ways. But that's another conversation for another day and another video. And we will talk to y'all again very soon. Thank you very much for hanging out with us, and have a good night, y'all.